So I'm sure you've heard this myth that's going around the internet that women only have two options in life, right? They can either be a happy, fulfilled, loving wife and mother, or they can forego that idyllic family life and instead chase professional success. The latter leads to misery in her mid-30s to early 40s when she is husbandless and childless. I think this propagation of traditional family value begs the question, will she be miserable if she never wanted a husband or children in the first place? Are we to believe that 4 billion women on the earth only have one role to play? I can't. But that's the naive, narcissistic thinking that's being promoted online through all these alpha male channels, all these fucking guys who, in addition to spending hours at the gym, also like to sit around in circles and comment on gender roles. Also, I want to know how a man knows that a woman is going to be miserable at some age that he has never been. He has never been that age. He has never been a woman. Did you ever think it's because of her fucking hormones? Did you ever think of that? Anyway, what about you? You've always felt different, right? Especially from your relatives. You don't want this seemingly picturesque family that these macho men are selling. You never have. In fact, you feel guided by divine intelligence, right? You are here to do bigger, more important work that even entertaining this myth seems laughable. So where does that leave you? I was exposed to this myth through YouTube because as massive as they are, they still have a shitty algorithm that prioritizes divisive content. But I got and I clicked on one of these videos and I said I was only going to watch it for research purposes. And I ended up watching a lot more than one video because, they know what they're doing, right? People want this juicy, divisive content. But even though I'm a woman, I didn't get angry when I watched these videos. And I didn't get angry because I felt like they were commenting on these societal roles that somehow seem beneath me. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fully functioning member of society. I have a job, I pay my taxes, I clip my toenails, not as often as I should, but in my defense, they really don't grow that fast. But I digress. The point is that I've also always felt different, especially from my relatives. I've always felt like I had really important work to do here in this lifetime. And the older I get, the more I see that I am meant to break familial patterns. And because I'm on this path, entertaining some nonsense that some strangers on the internet are saying about people with my specific gender, I don't have time for it, okay? So one of the things that I feel I am meant to change in my family is that in this last cycle, we did experience some poverty. So at first, I thought that getting out of poverty meant running my own business. For some reason, that's the image I had in my mind. Okay, I want to run my own business. That's how I'm going to break out of this cycle of poverty. But eventually I did a lot of deep personal work, and I evolved past wanting my own business, and I went on a journey to uncover my purpose. And now when I uncovered my purpose, I saw sort of the next phase of things, which is legacy, and what it is that you are going to leave behind. And I think that's really what this is all about. And granted, you can leave a legacy through your family and through your children, but we're not all on that path. I think some of us are on a slightly more solitary journey, and that's fucking awesome, right? It's fucking great to be able to have some part of your life where you are just doing whatever you want to do because you feel called to do it, right? Nobody else is interfering, just you. So have you considered that instead of simply choosing whether you want to be a wife and mother or a businesswoman, that you can just be on a purpose-driven path? Have you thought about that? You don't have to subscribe to somebody else's idea of what the two paths are available in your life, because guess what? Joke's on them. You got fucking millions and billions of paths that you can be on. And let me tell you what, every wife and mother that I know isn't necessarily happy, okay? And every businesswoman in her mid-30s and early 40s is not a fucking curmudgeon, okay? So you have options. And you may not know what your purpose is yet, and that's an exciting part of the journey. You know, just desire to know it and you will uncover it. I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to take some time. But like I said, you have to uncover it. It's not something that's outside of you. It's something that is deep within you, and you're going to have to shut out a lot of the distractions, including these fucking guys sitting around these, these round tables commenting on gender roles. Get rid of those guys. That's fucking just static. So if you've already uncovered your purpose, fucking awesome, especially if it involves storytelling. I want you to stick around and be a part of the community. But if you haven't uncovered your purpose, then let me talk to you a little bit about timelines. Now, timelines are only something that I understand in hindsight because I've been on this purpose-driven path for such a long time now that I can see how far I've come. And I want to help you if you are in the early stages of finding your purpose, and just let you know that you've got a lot. There's some work to do, but that's the fun part. And if you are further along on your path, I just want you to recognize how far you've come. So I want to start with a relationship metaphor, right? Because we're kind of talking about being on a purpose-driven path as it relates to being in romantic relationships with other people. Okay, that's kind of like the backdrop here. So my friend's boyfriend recently put it to me this way. In every relationship, one person is driving and the other person is along for the ride. And now, as much as I agree with that sentiment, I hope and pray that we all, especially me, find someone who we can be in a romantic relationship with, and we are both driving. So I think maybe in my metaphor, we're going to be like on a tandem bike or something. I've got to iron that one out. But in this relationship, if you are unclear about your purpose, just know that you are more likely to get swept up in someone else's dream for their life. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible for you to uncover your purpose while you're in a romantic relationship with someone else. But as someone with avoidant attachment style, okay, I avoid getting attached. I'm going to tell you that when I like someone, everything goes out the window. You just get fucking so swept up in the funnel of love. So you have 2 jobs at that point. You probably got 3 jobs because you got your regular job. You got your job in the relationship, and then you got your job finding out your purpose, and then I'm sure you've got a bunch of other things that you need to take care of in your life. But if you want to try and do this while being in a relationship with somebody else, fucking give it a go. If you've done it, let me know. But that's not my style. And I know for a lot of other people, it's not their style in either. They've chosen to be single and or be celibate and really give all the attention to themselves. Believe me, you're going to find way better relationships in the end if you can be clear about who you are, what you do, what your purpose is in this life. Just saying. And if you want to know what is one practice that you can start incorporating into your life right now, today, that's going to help you uncover that path, it's going to be anything that helps you clear your mind. So practices such as yoga and meditation, or if those seem kind of boring to you, you can sing and dance. And that's going to give you an added energy boost as well, okay? But clear your mind. That's how you get to your purpose. So again, as you're uncovering your purpose, you may choose to be single for some time. It's really easy to get swept away when you're in love or to be seduced by low-hanging fruit such as sex. But if you are really serious about finding your purpose and dedicating your life to the fulfillment of that, then I think you're going to be more than willing to make a little sacrifice here. And so this can be a really solitary part of the journey. And that's part of the reason why I want to build this community here, so that even though you may be alone, you are never truly alone. You still have us here, and you've got other people who understand what it's like to have gone through this journey. And as you start to uncover your purpose, you're going to play around, right? You're going to start to dabble and experiment and try new things. And then people are going to start to get confused about who you are and what you do. Or they may get confused, right? They don't have to. And this is how to prevent that. So I really wish that someone had explained this to me before I hit this part of my journey, but I had to learn it firsthand. Don't get caught up on neat little titles. Don't get caught up on cute little Instagram bios or elevator pitches. Just allow yourself to explore and to play. And again, if you're wondering how to do this without confusing others, then allow me to share this notion with you. I call it flowers and seeds. And I could do a whole video on this, but I'm going to try to distill the idea here. So imagine you've just invited a friend over to check out your garden. Would you dig into the soil to bring up some half-sprouted seeds to show your friends? No, right? You're going to show them the flowers. You're going to show them everything that has bloomed, right? But what can happen on this part of the journey, as you're playing around and experimenting and allowing yourself to be free and creative, you may choose to share some of your new dalliances with the world. Right? We have all these social media platforms for us to just post all day, all this new and exciting stuff we're finding. But that's where people can become confused about you. So only showcase the flowers. If you find something that you are so excited about that you water it every day, whatever that activity may be, and you water it every day to the point where you have something to show for it, then you show that, right? Then you show them your portfolio of work. But we can't be out here just saying, oh, I'm dabbling in this, checking this out, checking that out. Because again, you're going to confuse a lot of people and you're going to lose possibly some vital connections. You know, if you're a seeker, then you're going to constantly be exploring new topics, experimenting, dabbling, and that's great. It's going to keep your mind sharp. But stay clear about who you are in public. And if you are experimenting, do that shit in private, okay? Moving on. And now this is going to be a much larger video because I have a lot to say about this, but when you get your answer, when you get clarity on what your purpose is, it is very easy to continue seeking if you've already been seeking for so long. If you've created a habit of trying to answer this question of what is my purpose, your question may have snowballed so much that when you find your answer, you're just gonna roll on right by it because again, you've built up all this momentum. Don't do what I did. I found my answer. It was really fucking clear and it made so much sense. But what happened? I kept looking. Because I had built so much momentum around looking. And what happened? I had to be in a near-death situation for that message to come in loud and clear a second time. And it was the same fucking message. It was a little clearer, which I was looking for, and it can continue to be clearer, right? If your answer is you're a healer, well, what kind of healer? Am I healing with my hands? Am I healing with my voice? Just fucking get a move on, and you'll figure it out in the field, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. But again, it can be a video in and of itself. So, once you've found your purpose and you've committed to it, you'll want to start practicing in public. And that is showcasing the flowers that we just spoke about. And you will especially need to change the world's perception of who you are, especially if this purpose is different from what you were doing in the past. And most likely it will be, otherwise you wouldn't have been on like this fucking journey of discovery, right? If you were doing the thing that was your purpose and that was fulfilling and that you 100% were sure you were meant to do, you probably wouldn't have been out there seeking it, right? Because you already had it. So the key word here though is public. So if you're drawn to the message in this video, you may lean toward introvertedness and introspection, maybe have some antisocial or some avoidant attachment styles, but that may just be me. At the end of the day, however, the work we are meant to do here on this earth involves other people. You absolutely can be a hermit and go and live in a cabin in the woods. You absolutely can do that. But that's not what we're exploring here on this channel, okay? I live in the third most populous city in the United States. Like, we ain't doing the hermit shit here. And this is coming from a slightly antisocial person, okay? We can't. And if you're leaning towards that, you got to ask yourself how it is that you feel on a scale of 1 to 10. Because I'm telling you, being out here with the people and having these experiences, it's going to take you up a couple notches. You can always go home and recharge your battery, but you got to get out there in the world, okay? That's my little rant on that. If you have done the work and you've uncovered your purpose and you are committed to it and you're ready to come up to the surface and shine, then let's do it together. Let's do it here with someone who knows what it's like to be on this journey. I'm sure there are more nuanced sections of the journey, but these are just some markers that I've encountered on my path. I wanted to share them so that if you're just getting started out, you see that there are more steps to go so that you can get a move on. We always think that, oh, I just have to do one thing and I'll be right there. No, baby, there's a lot more. There's a lot more to do, so get on it. And if you are further along on the path, you see how far you've come. And you recognize the work that you've done. So I think there's room for everyone here, regardless of where you are on the journey. And it took me years to uncover my purpose. And like I mentioned before, it took me a little too long. Okay? So I want to share these lessons with you so that you don't suffer the way that I did. And if you can't tell, I'm at the point in my journey where I'm not only practicing in public, but I am looking to, I think collaborate is too strong of a word just right now, but I am looking to connect with other people. I've done the hermit thing. I've done the isolation thing. I've done the deep work. And now I'm out here to do the light work. Oh, that just popped into my mind. But yeah, I think in the past, people like us would have been considered spinsters, and it doesn't have to be like that anymore. I think there's a lot more flexibility now. And if you want to be part of a community where you are encouraged to be your creative and artistic, free-loving self, and you are not pressured to conform to these antiquated societal roles, then fucking join the club, you know? So sign up for my newsletter in the description box. I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and stories from my purpose-driven life. There's no one way to do purpose, so I want to hear from you. Please comment below. Let me know where you are on your journey. Let me know how you feel when you hear people try to put you into one of these two little boxes. And especially if you found your purpose, let me know what that is, you know. Let's connect with each other. Let's create a tribe of fearless, purpose-driven women.